Have you gained, I'm not asking that, not weight, wisdom? Have you gained wisdom in the last few weeks? Have you learned something about life and being human and being part of this society and being part of this family? Have you gained something of wisdom and insight about who you are? Have you taken time, because there has been time, as there is in every day, 24 exact hours, to stop and to ask yourself how you're doing and what you're learning? Have you turned any I can'ts into I can? Have you realized the wisdom of behaving differently and realizing something new about yourself, that you are different as a result? One of the things I found in the last few weeks is I've had a lot of good conversations, many, many, many conversations. And I've learned perspective. One thing, when commodities go down, whether it's oil or oil, silver, whatever solid commodities there are, even liquids, perspective is a commodity that can go up. So this is the time that we might be gaining that important commodity in our lives. So I want to share a couple of insights that I've learned in the last few weeks. And one of them was by an author, a woman whom I'd never heard of until a few weeks ago. She was a Dutch Christian woman, a watchmaker, worked with her father. She ended up saving Jews from the Nazis in World War II, and she recalls that story in a book called The Hiding Place. Her name is Corrie ten Boom. And listen simply to what she says. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. That's a good one. That's wise. That comes from someone who's had experiences that have taught her wisdom. Another insight that I want to share with you is something that might be helpful to you, whether it's in business or in private life, that I've been doing for the last few years as consistently as possible, which is trying to make a distinction between what is urgent and what is important. There's a real difference between urgent and important. And if we can distinguish between those, we can manage our time and our energies much more efficiently. Think about what is urgent, what is important, and some things are urgent and important. So I offer you that in case it's helpful to you. Lastly, I want to offer you an insight that came to me through a conversation with a group of men a few nights ago. I asked them about their experiences. We shared our thoughts, perspectives, some good humor as well. And I asked some of these men who are leading organizations, I said, how are you leading your teams right now? Any tips or tricks for the rest of us? And one of them, a dear friend by the name of Lauren Whitkin, shared what he does at Citadel, his company. He said, I led my team this way. I put on the screen an image, and the image was of a driver behind a wheel looking out at a windshield, looking out at the road. The next image was the same driver, the same wheel, the same windshield, but now on the same road, but now the windshield was covered in rain. He said, I said to my team, look at the difference between these two and look what's the same. Notice the destination is the same. We are going to the same place. We're on the same road, and it's the right road. However, now with the rain, it's harder to see the future. Now we need to be a little more careful around corners. Now we need to take our time. Certain parts of this journey will be slower than we anticipated. But ultimately, we're going to have to be a little more careful, or maybe a lot more careful. We're going to have to grip that wheel more carefully, press on the gas a little less at times, on the brakes more. But ultimately, we have to remind ourselves that we're on the right track and that nothing has changed in terms of our goals. We're heading in the same direction. So I offer you these insights on this Monday. Hope they are helpful to all of you. I hope you have a good week.